when I was a kid, I swear to God, there were ads in the back of Marvel Comics for this movie. I'm referring to The Gate. The only reason that I let it pass by. Well, first off, horror was never my genre. It was always back in the 80s, back in those practical effects days. Horror was kind of treated as like the lowbrow entertainment, right? As far as I remember it. So I let it pass. There's no way I was going to watch that. When I was watching movies back in '87, maybe I was exploring. Was that the videotape age, right? So I would have been exploring like Roman Polanski's Chinatown, watching it for the first time. That was stuff that I was getting into during those moments. So there's no way I'm gonna watch some stupid movie called The Gate, right? But looking back, I remember it being kind of a bigger hit for a smaller budget movie. So I want to give this a try. I'm going to go ahead and watch The Gate tonight from 1987. Yeah. And then I'm going to be right back to let you know what I think about The Gate. Alright. See you in just a few seconds, guys. Bye. Well, believe it or not, I just finished The Gate. Who starred it as the kid? I think his name was Stephen Dorff. Right over there, I guess. I don't know. Here's my takeaway from this movie. First off, when I decided I was going to watch this movie, I read a little bit with ChatGPT, and it came up with a line that kind of stuck with me throughout the whole movie, which was it was kind of like a Goonies meets a horror film, right? And I couldn't disprove that all the way throughout this film. This really did have a strong Goonies feel to it. So the plot is, in place of this tree, is this like hole, or maybe they start digging this hole. I can't remember. But anyway, so they're digging where this tree used to be, and they break through to this like cave underneath it. And I'm talking like not even like 3 feet underneath the surface. They didn't put that much effort into digging this hole to this like demonic pit, right? But that's exactly what happens, is that they uncover this hole, and then they find this like geode, which they break open, and then inside this geode has this inscription, which they read, and I guess that kind of like opens up the portal. There was like a whole chunk of this movie where we're fed exposition via this like cover, this like album cover for this heavy metal band, right? And they supposedly worship some kind of demons, and this ritual will open a gateway from hell to earth. Every single condition that was supposed to happen to make this gate open permanently accidentally happened within the party or slightly after the party. He levitates. There was a sacrifice, and there's this weirdly sad but also kind of awkward scene where the dog is sacrificed, and it's just like the guy's having this dream and then wakes up and he's dancing with the dog, and he tosses it to the ground and I guess causes it to die. But when he tosses it to the ground, it looks really cringeworthy. Like they like this stuffed animal that they used in place of the real dog just didn't look convincing at all. It reminded me of like a Saturday Night Live skit, right? It was really bad. Because of these events, what happens is that this gateway opens. And then after that, it's just a lot of, I don't know, them trying to get to close the gate and to get out of the gate. The friend of the younger kid like falls into the pit and then has to claw his way out of it. And there's just like this long, painful sequence where he's crawling out of it. And like the biggest threat we've seen so far is these like not even 3 feet, like maybe a foot high demons, right? Like the kind that you can just kind of like drop kick into the next scene. They weren't really threatening to me, and they didn't really add to like the horror of the movie for me. But again, I think they were going for a like a PG-13 vibe, like a Goonies vibe. So that's why I think they went with the smaller demons until the very end, when like all the sacrifices had been met, the 2 human sacrifices had been met, which were 2 of our main characters, and the only surviving character is this young kid, and he launches a rocket into the demon to save the world from this like onslaught of like demons that are coming out of this pit. Why was that the solution? It was unclear to me. Maybe it was explained in the story. I didn't understand it. But for the most part, they had the opportunity to make this just 100% a cheese fest, and to make these characters that were to be completely over-exaggerated. But they didn't take that temptation. They actually kind of pulled their punches as far as that went and gave us like real characters. And I really enjoyed that about this movie. I really liked all the characters. I liked the sister, I liked the friend, and I liked the young boy, our protagonist of the story. As far as like the special effects go, it was all practical and some like stop motion, like for the demons and the demon at the end. The demons themselves, like I said, didn't really add to the story, didn't add to the horror of the story for me. But the demon at the end, the large demon, the boss demon, I liked the design of it. I liked the threat of this demon. I thought it was really kind of cool. I thought that portion of this story was really neat. I had a really good time with this movie. I felt the 80s just bleeding through this movie, but at the same time, it was easy for me to forgive it because it was a time I grew up. And it was also a well-produced movie. Like I said, there was a lot of downtime in this movie. They didn't have the budget to give us wall-to-wall special effects. So they had to give us a slow-burning story so that when we had the more meaningful moments where they did spend the money, that we could get a fun sequence. And that's exactly what they did. And I really had a good time with this movie. I'm going to give it an 85%. I enjoyed this movie a lot. More than I really thought I was going to. So, what are you guys watching for this Halloween? I would like to know. Just leave it in the comments below. But other than that, I do want to get out of here. And so, as always, I wish everybody a good and happy and a safe Halloween. But I wish everybody peace on today. I'll talk to you guys later, and goodbye. I'll talk to you guys later, or next Halloween. See ya.